Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good, man. We're starting to wake up a little bit here. We're a little bit bleary-eyed at the early morning start with this show, but we're making it through.
Hey, it's a great show. I look forward to listening to you when I'm on my way to the beach or trying to figure out where I'm going to catch my fish for the weekend. So great stuff. Love what you guys do.
I warned you we'd probably go a little long with Mike Gill, so.
He doesn't get enough radio Monday through Friday.
Right. So tell us more about this Christmas in July that we have going on here with 97.3 ESPN, a really great event that's going to help out a lot of folks involved with the Atlantic City Rescue Mission.
Yeah, we're really excited, and hats off to Mike Gill, who's been a friend of mine for a long time. He, Pete Thompson, and the great team over at 97.3 are helping me lead this Christmas in July supplies drive benefiting the Atlantic City Rescue Mission. The AC Rescue Mission has been serving our area for over 50 years, providing resources to area residents facing homelessness, poverty, addiction, and a variety of other difficult times in their lives. So on July 31st, the Golden Nugget Atlantic City has stepped up in a massive way to serve as a sponsor of this event. We're going to do a supplies drive at their location where listeners and area residents can bring in supplies for a chance to win great sports prizes and memorabilia. Some of the supplies that the mission is desperately in need of this time of year: toilet paper, napkins, trash bags, cleaning supplies, toothpaste and toothbrushes, paper towels, and then bottled water. As it continues to get hotter and more humid here, we have folks that are living in trying circumstances that could really use the support this time of year. The chance to enter is real simple. All you have to do is make a donation. There are 3 locations you can make a donation. You can make a donation right at the studios there on Tilton Road in Northfield. You can make a donation on the 31st at our event at Golden Nugget, where Mike and Pete will be broadcasting live. Or you can also make a stop over to one of our great sponsors, East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows, over on Danahauer Lane and Mays Landing. So many great businesses and people rallying together to help us out here.
And Dave, you make a great point about the time of year. I know it's something we think about a lot during the holidays, during Christmas time, and when the weather's real cold. We want to help out these folks that might be struggling in their lives, but we don't necessarily think about that in the summertime when it's warm out and everybody's having fun and that kind of thing. But really, when you're talking about this time of year, it gets real hot out. You might have a family with some young children who maybe don't have a place to stay and really need a lot of help in this kind of time when you, like you said, just even bottled water and staying hydrated and the simple things in life.
It's a great point. And, sometimes in our lives and in our world, there are stigmas associated with what we think, homelessness means. I had an opportunity to go to the rescue mission shortly after I returned from Las Vegas, where I was working with the UFC, to tour the facility and to meet with the local representatives. And the one thing that stood out to me is on that particular day I was there were a dozen families living there. And the circumstances surrounding their being there were not cut and dry. There was a family that was battling a domestic violence incident. There was a family where the primary, breadwinner, if you will, had lost his job. And these people were just doing everything they could to proverbially keep their heads above water. So compassion goes a long way, as does perspective. In my life as a kid growing up in Egg Harbor Township, there was a point in our lives where a family member of mine was battling the deepest, darkest stages of addiction, and he leaned on the Atlantic City Rescue Mission for treatment as well as for shelter. So I know the type of services they can provide. There are really good people over there working. And listen, if you have the opportunity, if you have the means to help us raise some supplies, you'll be entered into a drawing to win some incredible prizes from the Sixers, Flyers, Phillies, HBO Boxing, UFC. So many great organizations that 97.3 and myself have come across. So many great organizations are stepping up to help us with this cause.
And really, I mean, everybody listening out there does have the means. We're only talking about $4 or $5 for a case of water, a couple of bucks for some toothpaste or toothbrush, any little thing. When you get thousands of people donating this kind of thing, it can really add up in a hurry.
It does. And, one of the things that prided me on moving back home after 8 years in Las Vegas is because I think the sense of community here in South Jersey is nothing short of incredible. The last 10 years here have been a trying situation, whether you talk about the economic crisis with the Atlantic City casinos, whether you talk about the drug epidemic that's hit us really, really hard, particularly the heroin epidemic. We as people have always, as South Jerseyans, have always shown a real persistence in rallying together and helping out our own. This area is obviously built on service, and I think sometimes we can take that one step further and look out for our brothers and sisters that live in, the Atlantic County area. One of the things that I think is important to note, though, is that the Atlantic City Rescue Mission, despite its name, isn't just taking care of Atlantic City. They're servicing residents all up and down the Jersey Shore. They're also taking care of residents that come down here from Philadelphia, up from Delaware. This is a no one left behind type of facility, a nonprofit, a faith-based organization that isn't, driven by dollars and cents. They're driven by getting people back on their feet.
We're talking with Dave Sholler. He's the VP of Communications with the Philadelphia 76ers. And Dave, your position now, how much does that lend you in sort of getting in touch with the right kind of people to get this thing off the ground and really get some weight behind it with some of these professional teams and the boxing world and all those kind of things?
Yeah, I mean, it's really been incredible. I have been so fortunate and blessed to have been surrounded by really good people in my professional career who've elevated me and pushed me, not just professionally but personally. And a big driver for me wanting to come back to the South Jersey area was to want to try to make a tangible difference. And working for Scott O'Neill and Brian Colangelo at the 76ers, they've not only given me the opportunity, but they've provided me with the platform to go ahead and get out in my community and try to make that tangible difference. We have a program that was started by our owners, Josh Harris and David Blitzer, along with Scott O'Neill, that's called Project 76. All 76ers employees are asked to contribute 76 hours annually of community service to whatever their passion projects are. Some of our employees do things with homeless, some do some things with domestic violence, some do some things with continuing education for children. Whatever the passion point is, we're actually physically encouraged to get out and make a difference in our communities. And that, to me, is such a powerful tool. You know this very well. The business of sports no longer has an on-off switch, so it's very easy to be 24 hours, 7 days a week. Right now, I'm in a great position with the 76ers where our business is growing so quickly, our team is growing so quickly, and our ability to make an impact in our community as a result is growing quickly. I'm just glad I can do a small part here in Atlantic County.
Now, Dave, before we let you go, give us a rundown of some of these great prizes. I know we were talking to Mike Gill before we had you on, and some really cool stuff. If people, and really all you have to do to enter is make a donation.
That's it. That's all you have to do. Again, 3 donation points. You can come to our event on the 31st at the Golden Nugget Atlantic City Atrium. You can make a donation right there in Northfield at the 97.3 Studios, or you can visit East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows in Mays Landing. But there's some great prizes. I'm really excited about it. I have signed boxing gloves that HBO has sent me. Names like Andre Ward, names like Canelo Alvarez. Flyers are sending along memorabilia. The Phillies are sending tickets. I'm going to go ahead and announce on your show today for the 76ers fans out there, I have a signed Dario Saric photo as well as 2 club box seats to our preseason games, one of our preseason games, so that's going to be fantastic. I also have the UFC sending signed merchandise, and I have one more trick up my sleeve that I'm hoping to pull together next week that involves a certain football team in this area, and I'll leave it at that. But a lot of great reasons, a lot of compelling reasons to jump on board. And you hit something that's really important, and I appreciate you saying this. Whether you stop by a Dollar General or you're at a ShopRite or an Acme or whatever it may be, one toothbrush and toothpaste pack goes a long way for what the Atlantic City Rescue Mission is doing. They're serving nearly 700 people a night, and every little bit helps.
And, hey, if you're out there, doing your weekly shopping this weekend, put an extra $5-10 towards this. It's not a difficult thing to do.
No, it's not. I mean, you nailed it. And we have got so many great people here. Despite some of the headlines you may have read over the last 5 years about the quote-unquote demise of Atlantic City. I don't buy it. I think we're well on our way to getting back on our feet, and it's going to take us as people, as residents, to do it. I don't like to solely rely, with all due respect to our politicians and administration, I don't think you can simply rely on that. I think sometimes from a grassroots perspective, you have to rally together. I draw a lot on my experience at the UFC, where we really built a business from the ground up, doing things from a grassroots perspective. That's sometimes how you create the momentum to push forward, and I think that's what the Atlantic City Rescue Mission needs. One thing that after this event we're going to pivot to pretty quickly is their summer gala on August 10th at the Claridge in Atlantic City. I've been fortunate to be asked to speak at that event. A Town Square Media alum / current talk show host, Harry Hurley, is going to be the MC of the night, one of the greats of morning radio in our area. So coming out to that event, they do their summer gala fundraiser. They're trying to currently renovate their kitchen. Quick story for you. They currently serve nearly 700 meals a night out of one industrial oven. 7 of their other industrial ovens are beyond repair. So I think back to Thanksgiving when I served 15 people out of one oven, and I was ready to pull out whatever hair I have left. So these folks are continually finding ways to get it done. It's that type of resilience and perseverance that defines our area. And it's just compelled me and Mike and Pete and Harry and some great people involved with your radio station to just fight back.
Great stuff as always, Dave. We appreciate the time, and we'll definitely continue to get the word out here the rest of the month for you.
Truly appreciate your support. Thanks so much.
All right, have a great weekend, Dave. Appreciate it.
You too. Thank you.
That was Dave Sholler, VP of Communications at the Philadelphia 76ers, and we'll get some more information out throughout the week.